WNYT Albany. News Channel 13 live at 4 begins right now.
And good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us here on our News Channel 13 YouTube channel. I'm Sabrina Dami, and we do start with some breaking news right now out of Saratoga County, a death investigation that began this morning in a quiet neighborhood in Malta. A man found dead after a shooting. He was found inside a home. This happened at Northway Estates Mobile Home Park on Route 9, right next to the Malta town offices. Stella Porter is live at the scene. Stella, you've been there all day today. What is the latest right now?
Hi, Sabrina. We just got a letter from the park's management that was sent to residents explaining they believe what happened was that a person came to these homes to visit someone, accidentally entered the wrong home, and then was shot by the homeowner, who apparently believed that that person was an intruder. Take a look at the scene right now. You can see down Raymond Drive here, the police tape surrounds one home. It's that tan home on the left there. You can actually possibly see an investigator in a white suit headed towards the door of that home right now near the scene. Last we had heard from the Saratoga County Sheriff's Office, they were getting ready for state police and the forensic unit to photograph and assess that scene. Law enforcement arrived around 11:30 this morning to find a man dead inside a home. A neighbor says they saw someone being led away in handcuffs, so it's unclear at this point if anyone is under arrest. Sheriff Michael Zerlo says there is no danger to the public right now. I asked the sheriff if this is being investigated as a homicide, and he says it's not to the point where they can say just yet.
We're not to that point yet, and I think further investigation and interviews, hopefully we'll have a better picture later in the day as to determine what exactly took place there.
And again, this first came to us as a tip that this was related to a burglary incident at this home on Raymond Drive. Police have not yet confirmed that, but it seems to be corroborated by what management has told residents in that note we obtained. We'll continue to stay on top of this as we learn more. At this point, no identification of anyone involved. And again, according to Sheriff Zerlo, no one under arrest at this point. Reporting live in Malta, Stella Porter, News Channel 13. Sabrina, back to you.
Just an unfortunate scene there. Stella, thank you very much. Also breaking this afternoon and first on 13, the Cohoes man charged with murder in the death of in the 2019 death of a 6-week-old infant in Albany has been extradited from Mexico, where he was caught after 2 years on the run. Anthony Ojeda was one of the U.S. Marshals' 15 most wanted fugitives. Ojeda and his husband, Neil Garzon, took off from Cohoes in June of 2021 after Ojeda was charged with murder in the death of baby Eli. Prosecutors say the baby had injuries to his ribs and head and toxic levels of methamphetamine that killed him. Garzon has already been brought back to the U.S. to answer charges, and Ojeda is now in custody of the U.S. Marshals. We continue to follow developing news out of Montgomery County. The sheriff's office there still searching for a missing fisherman in the Mohawk River. Dan Levy joins us live from the hamlet of Fort Hunter with the very latest. Dan, still an active scene there 24 hours later.
Indeed, it is an active scene here, Sabrina. You're absolutely right. Just within the last 2 or 3 minutes, that state police boat you see behind me pulled over to the side of the river on the south side of the Mohawk River in the hamlet of Fort Hunter. And the people who were on the boat, the troopers, got off. Now, also still in the water, there's a Montgomery County Sheriff's boat with sheriff's deputies and divers still on board there. Now, they were here at daybreak, and they've been here all afternoon, and they were here all afternoon yesterday. And as you can see, they are still searching these murky waters. Now, even though from our point of view, the search site seems to be awfully limited to the fast-flowing waters just below the dam here at Lock 12 of the Erie Canal, clearly there has not been a terminus to this search. According to Montgomery County Sheriff Jeff Smith, a 31-year-old fisherman was casting his line Thursday morning on the south side of the Mohawk. That would be in the hamlet of Fort Hunter, the town of Florida. The man's line got caught up in something. He dropped his fishing pole, and when he reached for it, that is when he fell into the river. An eyewitness tells News Channel 13 that she heard the man screaming for help. She also saw another fisherman toss him a life preserver, but to no avail. The man went under. Now, an emergency 911 call made At 11:35 Thursday morning, police here within 3 minutes. State police, along with the Montgomery County Sheriff's Department, had their boats and their divers in the water until sundown last night. They were back here at sunrise. Of course, this is an extremely tragic start to the summer here in Montgomery County as this search continues. And if and when there are any breaking developments in this case, we will certainly bring them to you on air and online. Live in Montgomery County with coverage you can trust. Dan Levy, News Channel 13. Sabrina, we'll send it back to you.
Block 12 clearly visible behind you. Dan, thank you very much. Let's turn to the weather right now and a very backed up scene as usual, northway south of the Twin Bridges on a Friday afternoon. Let's go to Chief Meteorologist Paul Kayana to find out if we have any more rain in the forecast for today. Paulie.
Hi, Sabrina. Yeah, we've been tracking this front for the better part of a week and told you that its proximity to us at this time of day would determine whether we get severe weather or just some showers. Well, it looks like the front has blown through the greater capital district, but still some showers and storms out over the Berkshires. Pittsfield, for example, it's raining at a pretty good clip here at 72 degrees on the CDPHP first warning cam, and that's confirmed on the first warning live Doppler. Look at that one thunder shower right over the city of Pittsfield. Additional showers and storms down south toward Lee and Lenox around the outlets at exit 10 have moved off into central Mass. Additional showers over Columbia County have also departed. So this really is the only show in town over Pittsfield. The rest of our area is drying out after some morning showers. So locally, we'll be able to avoid severe weather with more let's say in the way of stronger thunderstorms out towards central New England. And with the return to sunshine, it's popped up to 86 in Albany, while other locations are in the lower 80s and even some 70s showing up. So a warm late afternoon on this Friday. I think most of us will avoid any additional precipitation, but some heavy thunderstorms in the northeast corner of Pennsylvania sliding into the lower Hudson Valley. We'll track not the rain with that, but look at the clouds blowing off the top into the I-88 corridor. So that may mute the sunshine just a bit late afternoon, kind of looking like this. And with temperatures sliding back into the 70s, a real summer-like Friday night in store for us. This is going to set us up for a delightful weekend with high pressure building in and much lower humidity. We'll talk more about that, what it means for your Father's Day plans, plus that heat wave we've been tracking. It's all coming up in just a bit. Sabrina.
Paul, thank you. New at 4, a serious crash kills one person. It happened on a very busy road in the town of Glenville. This crash happened around 9 a.m. on Maple Avenue. A car heading towards Freeman's Bridge Road crossed into the other lane and hit the guardrail and overturned. A woman who was a passenger in that car was killed. A 32-year-old man who was driving the car was airlifted to Albany Med. Police say this crash is under investigation and charges are pending. Early voting begins tomorrow for primary elections in New York State. It goes until Sunday, June 23rd, and then primary day is the 25th. We have a link on our website, WNYT.com, with more information, including polling sites. And one of the bigger primary races we are following is the race for Albany County District Attorney. Current DA David Soares today received an endorsement from Albany County Sheriff Craig Apple. Sheriff Apple says he usually stays out of politics, but felt he had to make this endorsement. He says DA Soares is out there right along with him, fighting the fight, which he argues only became harder since bail reform, and he feels the DA is not being treated fairly.
You know, all of a sudden they go after him for a grant or something and use that as an excuse to get rid of him. You know, if you're not a team player and you go against the grain, they want you out. And I just couldn't sit back and let that happen.
DA Soares is seeking a 6th term in office. He's being challenged by attorney Lee Kinlan, who just yesterday picked up the endorsement from Albany County Executive Dan McCoy. We caught up with Lee Kinlan today for his response to the sheriff not backing him.
You know, ultimately, the voters in Albany County have to decide if they're happy with the status quo or if they want to change in direction with the Albany County District Attorney's Office.
Again, primary day is June 25th. Tomorrow, a coffee shop is opening up in Berkshire County to honor fallen U.S. Air Force Staff Sergeant Jacob Gallagher. Staff Sergeant Gallagher was killed in a helicopter crash off the coast of Japan last year. Now his family is opening up Jake's Java in Lanesboro to remember Jake and his fellow crew members. The shop will take over the Greylock Grounds location on Route 7. The Gallagher family says this was a dream shared by Jake and his wife. And this morning, 4 new Price Chopper Market 32 stores opened up in the capital region. They are replacing the former ShopRite stores in Albany, Colony, Niskayuna, and North Greenbush. Today and tomorrow, customers at all 4 of those locations will get 5% off their grocery bill. The stores will also donate 5% of sales to the Regional Food Bank of Northeastern New York and youth sports programs. Today is June 14th. It is Flag Day. How much do you know about the American flag? Gettysburg Flag Works shares some facts about our flag.
Talking Flag Day, right? Okay, fast facts. Pledge of Allegiance. Francis Bellamy writes the Pledge of Allegiance in, I believe, 1892. Right, so, well, no, this is just a presentation flag. So it's got fringe on it, and normally indoor flags will have fringe on it. A flag that you fly outside wouldn't have fringe. It's just not made to be outdoors. It'll wear and tear pretty quickly with the fringe on it. Origin of the U.S. flag, we go back to Betsy Ross, who made the first flag, 1776. Currently, a flag is made of nylon, typically. You can get a cotton flag, red for valor, white for innocence and purity, and blue for justice and perseverance. The father of Flag Day, Bernard Segrand, 1885. He's a school teacher in Wisconsin. He's got a love of national pride, the flag, which symbolizes our nation, and he decides that he's going to educate his class about the United States flag and proposes that there's an official day for Flag Day. And he proposes that that's the day that we celebrate the U.S. flag. But after that, it kind of spreads the word, and it becomes an official thing in 1916 when Woodrow Wilson issues a presidential proclamation naming June 14th as Flag Day. And in 1949, there's an act of Congress. They pass this act. It goes to Truman at the time. He signs off and makes it an official national holiday for Flag Day. So at that point, it's an official national holiday. It's recognized officially.
Thank you to photojournalist Justin Shumway for putting that together. Fast facts on this Flag Day. And thank you for joining us here on our YouTube channel for this news update. Chief Meteorologist Paul Cayano has your full first warning forecast when we come back.
Capital region weather can take a severe turn fast. When it does, you can count on First Warning Alert Days to help keep you safe.
On First Warning Alert Days, we are watching out for you with advanced technology.
You can trust our experienced team to be fastest to alert you with dependable hour-by-hour forecasts.
Stay safe with First Warning Alert Days.
First Warning 13, severe weather coverage you can trust.
For live coverage of breaking news, watch News Channel 13.
Your go-to station for live coverage.
Live coverage allows you to see stories unfold in your community.
Live at Moreau Lake State Park, where that
live coverage brings you closer to the story.
That courtroom was a packed house in there.
So you can see for yourself what's happening.
We have team coverage right now as the jury deliberates.
Live coverage makes you feel like you're actually there.
For live coverage of breaking news, watch News Channel 13.
Coverage you can trust.
Now, your first warning forecast with Chief Meteorologist Paul Cayano.
Well, things are drying out nicely behind the front. That brought some early day showers, a bit of unsettled weather to parts of our area later in the afternoon. And now everyone is drying out with the exception of parts of Berkshire County. But I think we'll have a nice evening. Temperatures are warm in the lower 80s, some 70s out there if you're going to fire up the grill here ahead of Father's Day weekend. Speaking of the weekend, the boating forecast looking nice, not too terribly warm at Lake George, the Great Sacandaga Lake, Saratoga Lake, temperatures in the 70s, a bit of a north breeze, so a little bit choppy tomorrow, but not terribly so. Water temperature is at 68. Bring the sunscreen out on the water or wherever you go tomorrow. That sun high in the sky, even on Sunday, full sunshine and pleasantly warm in the middle and upper 70s. So summer underway in full swing here as we head into the middle of June. And boy, is it going to feel like it next week. The 6 to 10 day temperature outlook from the middle to latter part of next week, a strong chance at above average temperatures. And I think it's going to be way above average, which we normally get now up to the 80-degree mark. But I think we're going to be above 90 for 3 or 4 days in a row here, maybe even the mid-90s by the middle of next week. So the weather checklist, plan ahead. You could probably leave the jacket in the closet. But if you're going to be out next week, sunglasses, make sure you load up on the sunscreen, not only because it's going to be hot, but it could be deceptive. Even when you have some of that hazy sun, the days are just so long, 15 hours plus of daylight. The sun's so high in the sky as we get to the first of summer next week. And always hydrate. Bring extra water wherever you go, and be hydrated. We don't want you to suffer from any kind of heat exhaustion going into next week. All right, the downtown Pittsfield, we've been watching some bursts of rain move through town over the last 30 minutes on the CDPHP first warning cam. You can see the dark clouds otherwise in 71 degrees. Here's downtown. Here's East Street, West Street heading toward the New York line, and you can see the heavier nature of the showers right over Pittsfield. But that's really the only shower that's left. We had a formidable thunderstorm rolling through southern Columbia County, but it broke apart as it approached the Mass Pike, and now it's sliding towards Springfield. So once these scattered showers and storms move to the east, we're really going to dry it out nicely locally. It's already been that way from the Twin Bridges north, west in the Mohawk Valley. We do have additional storms down to the south, but I think they're going to remain away from our area. Meantime, look at the temperature in Albany, up to 86, a little muggy, more of a summer-like feel, lower 80s in spots, some 70s out there as well. Expanding the view, and this is why we've been watching this front. Look to the north, look to the west, nothing going on, but right along the front, look at this big-time flare-up of thunderstorms out north of Allentown. This is going to sweep across the New York City area, White Plains, maybe even clip Hartford this evening. We'll get the blow-off of cloud cover from this. Look at the clouds just emerging off the top in the jet stream flow of these thunderstorms. So it'll blot out some late-day sun. Maybe we'll even get a couple of sundogs out there, some pretty good meteorological optics, but no rain. As the front sweeps through, the air mass will be much more refreshing with lower humidity and that comfortable northwest flow. And as high pressure builds in from the Midwest and Great Lakes, just a beautiful weekend with more sunshine, comfortable humidity, and a light breeze. So let's take a snapshot of tomorrow. Look at this, wall to wall from the beginning of the day through lunchtime, right to the end of the day, full sun. And look at the highs, middle and some upper 70s. So that will be fantastic. And we'll do it again for Father's Day on Sunday. So out go the showers and storms. Drier and clearer weather tonight, full sunshine tomorrow. And even though we have that big warm up in the forecast, Sunday morning is going to be in the 40s. So don't jump the gun right toward those summer-like temperatures. It's going to be a bit chilly first thing in the morning Sunday, and then full sunshine throughout the day will allow us to get closer to that 80-degree mark. So back down to 57 tonight with partly cloudy skies. Will dry it out. Tomorrow, 77, sunny, breezy, and pleasant. Sunday for Father's Day, fantastic, 79. Look at the temperature soar, 88 Monday, hazy, hot, and humid through the middle of next week, lower and middle 90s. Some computer models are going even higher. We'll keep it down for now, but if it calls for it, we'll issue an alert day if we have the possibility of some heat advisories and heat warnings through the middle of next week. And right now it looks like a heat wave. We may even extend that into the latter portion of the week with just the outside chance of a shower or a thunderstorm on Friday. We'll continue to gather news, and we will be here on YouTube once again for another abbreviated forecast, and we'll bring you all the latest coming up at 5 o'clock straight up.